And we talked about it. How would they feel, the Browns feel, at the beginning of the draft if you went offensive tackle receiver? They're all in on Shedeur Sanders, bro.
If this offense is going to take off, but he can run, he's quick, and although he does look small on TV, he's not as small as he looks. When I saw him in person, I was like, oh, okay. But he do got some nice size on him, but good route runner, real good quickness, and he can run.
The Browns' draft approach is starting to look very deliberate, and a lot of analysts are beginning to notice the same pattern. What once seemed like speculation is now being discussed more seriously. This team appears to be building with Shedeur Sanders in mind. Former NFL quarterback Chase Daniel pointed out that their moves suggest a clear plan. They started by adding offensive tackle Spencer Fono, then followed it up by taking wide receiver KC in the first round. These decisions seem focused on strengthening the offense around a young quarterback. Another interesting point is that the Browns haven't shown any real interest in drafting or signing another QB during this process. Meanwhile, former wide receiver TJ Houshmandzadeh also weighed in, saying KC could be a useful option for Shedeur this season. Taken together, these moves suggest the team is quietly putting pieces in place to support him. According to former NFL quarterback Chase Daniel, the Browns look much more certain about their direction in this draft compared to previous years. He pointed out that they're not second-guessing their decisions. They seem confident about the players they're targeting and are sticking with that plan. Instead of reacting or adjusting on the fly, they're focusing on getting the specific pieces they believe fit their system, and that approach is making their draft look more organized and effective. At the same time, former Browns wide receiver TJ Houshmandzadeh shared a broader view of how the team is being built. He suggested the Browns aren't trying to create an overly complex offense. They're aiming for consistency. In his view, if the team can regularly put up around 21 points per game, that should be enough, especially considering how strong their defense is. The idea is simple. Rely on the defense to control games and make sure the offense does enough, around 3 touchdowns, to stay ahead. If they can maintain that balance, he believes it puts them in a position to win a good number of games and potentially reach the playoffs, where they can continue building from there.
They drafted 2 guys on the offense side of the ball because they know this is our Achilles heel. We are set on defense. We need offense. Just score 17 to 20 points a game. You do that, we got a chance to win 8 to 12 games. If you can score 21 points a game, the way that defense plays, can y'all just give us?
Chase Daniel also pointed out that Shedeur Sanders looks like a strong fit for Todd Monken's offensive system. With the way the roster is being built, this feels like an important stretch for him to show whether he can establish himself as the long-term option at quarterback. At the same time, the team's approach suggests they're giving him a fair opportunity, adding pieces across the offense so he has support at multiple positions. The idea seems to be putting him in a situation where he has enough tools around him to perform, and now it comes down to how that translates on the field. Chase Daniel's point about this draft lines up with how these selections are being viewed. Players like Spencer Fono and Kevin Concepcion don't look like random picks. They seem to fit very specific criteria.
But I think that Shedeur fits Todd Monken's offense way better than he fit Stefanski's offense. Like, this is a 4 wide, spread it out, see it, quarterback run game, get him on the move. He's not a great athlete.
They wanted to draft him when he was in Baltimore.
Todd Monken has emphasized qualities like character, physical ability, and toughness, and those traits appear to be a big part of the evaluation process. Environment around Shedeur Sanders, making sure the supporting cast is strong enough to give him a real chance to develop and perform as a long-term option at quarterback. There was also a moment that gave a clear sense of how Todd Monken is approaching this role. When Mary Kay Cabot asked whether the Browns had considered another option like Jordan Tyson, his response was simple. He said they wanted Spencer Fono. There wasn't any hesitation or long explanation behind it. It came across as a clear and direct decision. That kind of response reflects a different approach. Instead of leaving things open-ended, he's taking ownership of the choices being made and standing by them. From the way he speaks in press settings to how he presents those decisions, it suggests there's a defined plan in place, and he's comfortable sticking with it as the team moves forward.
So obviously then Spencer must have been your guys' number one.
No, we targeted Spencer.
Spencer Fono comes out of the University of Utah with an impressive profile. He's around 6 feet 5.5 inches and weighs about 311 pounds, and he's already built a strong reputation as one of the more accomplished offensive linemen in recent college football. During his 2025 junior season, he started all 12 games at right tackle and delivered a very consistent performance throughout the year. From a pass protection standpoint, his numbers stand out. He gave up only 5 total pressures, including 5 hurries, and didn't allow a single sack across more than 350 pass-blocking snaps. That level of consistency is rare over a full season. While he was part of the offensive line, Utah's offense was also highly productive, averaging over 40 points per game and ranking among the top units in the country, with a particularly strong rushing attack. It highlights the kind of impact a top-level offensive lineman can have on overall offensive performance. Now looking at Kevin Concepcion, his role in this draft stands out in a different way. If Fono adds stability up front, Concepcion brings versatility and production to the offense, additional 320 rushing yards. That kind of output so early in his career is hard to ignore. He was recognized with ACC Rookie of the Year honors and also earned freshman All-American status in his first season. It wasn't a slow adjustment period for him. He stepped in and contributed right away, showing a clear understanding of his role from the start. After that, Kevin Concepcion moved to Texas A&M University for the 2025 season and continued to produce at a high level, this time in the SEC. Across 13 games, all starts, he recorded 61 receptions for 919 yards and 9 touchdowns, while also contributing on the ground with 75 rushing yards and an additional score. His performance earned him major recognition. He was named a first-team All-American and also received first-team All-SEC honors as both a wide receiver and an all-purpose player. On top of that, he won the Paul Hornung Award, which is given to the most versatile player in college football. Achieving that in his first season in the SEC against some of the toughest, Fono and Kevin Concepcion reflect a clear effort to strengthen key areas of the offense with players who bring both production and reliability. At the same time, Todd Monken's direct decision-making suggests confidence in the direction the team is taking. Rather than making scattered moves, the front office seems to be building with a specific structure in mind. A major part of that structure revolves around Shedeur Sanders, and giving him a balanced environment to perform in. While it's still early, and results will ultimately matter most, the strategy itself is becoming easier to understand. If these pieces come together as expected, this draft could be an important step toward building a more stable and competitive team moving forward. So now, the real question goes to you. Do you think this is actually a long-term plan being carefully built, or are the Browns just stacking talent and hoping it fits later? If this is truly an offense being shaped around Shedeur Sanders, will the additions of players like Spencer Fono and Kevin Concepcion be enough to set him up for success from day one? And what do you make of Todd Monken's approach? Does his direct and confident style signal stability, or is there still too much uncertainty in how this roster will come together? Most importantly, do you believe this draft class can realistically turn Cleveland into a consistent playoff team, or is it still too early to tell?